This is why it sucks to be born as a crow. You're born in a pile of sticks, not a cozy little nest, not a soft bed, just a mess of twigs barely holding together. But it's home. Your mom and dad act like they've built a mansion. They puff up their feathers, caw proudly, and stare at their work like it's some grand achievement. You and your siblings? Just tiny, ugly fluff balls, crammed together, squawking like maniacs. There's no such thing as personal space. If you want food, you scream louder than the others. Simple. But Dad is always flying back and forth, bringing whatever he can find: worms, beetles, the occasional unidentifiable thing that probably shouldn't be eaten, but definitely will be. Sometimes he gets help. Other crows pitch in, like unpaid interns in a company that doesn't even make money. They drop food into the nest, then leave before anyone can thank them. At first, the food is pre-chewed. Warm, mushy, gross, but you're too hungry to care. Eventually, the menu upgrades. Bigger chunks, real bugs. You eat everything like it's the best meal ever because, well, it might be your last. From above, the world looks huge. You don't care. Your only focus is not falling out of the nest. It's a long drop and you definitely wouldn't bounce. Then one day, Mom decides it's time for you to fly. Flapping your wings feels weird. You're not sure how it's supposed to work, but you try anyway. Your first attempt is a disaster. You belly flop onto a lower branch. It hurts. A lot. The second try is worse. You miss the branch completely and crash into the ground. Leaves break your fall, but let's be honest, if anyone asks, you totally meant to do that. After a few days of bruised dignity and sheer determination, something clicks. You lift off. Wobble, nearly panic, but stay in the air. Flying is incredible. The wind in your feathers, the speed, it feels like freedom. Not until you realize you have no idea how to land. You aim for a branch, miscalculate, and slam into it sideways. Feathers everywhere. But hey, you're airborne now. That's progress. Of course, flying means responsibility. Mom and Dad expect you to keep up. They soar effortlessly while you flap like a broken kite. Hawks are watching too. They love wobbly rookies like you. Then there's food. You're supposed to hunt now. Mom points to a beetle on the ground like it's obvious. You dive with all the confidence in the world and end up with a beak full of dirt. Mom stares. You swear she looks disappointed. Flying is hard, but you're a crow. You'll figure it out. Yet crows are supposed to be geniuses. You, not so much. At least, not at first. You watch older crows dig for bugs, flip over leaves, even drop nuts from trees to crack them open. You copy them. It doesn't always work, but trial and error is your new best friend. You also learn about predators. At first, everything is confusing, but when an older crow lets out a sharp, urgent caw, you don't question it. You just hide. Over time, you start recognizing shapes in the sky. Hawks? Bad. Pigeons? Annoying, but not deadly. Social skills come next. Crows talk, not just with caws, but with posture, head tilts, little gestures. You mimic them. You learn who to respect, who to avoid, and when to shut up. Then there are humans. They leave food everywhere. Scraps, crumbs, whole sandwiches if you're lucky. Some humans toss food on purpose. Others try to chase you away, which is hilarious because, surprise, crows remember faces. If a human is rude once, they get put on the grudge list. Revenge is efficient. At some point, you realize your family isn't the only group of crows. There's the murder, your extended family, neighbors, and a few weirdos who just hang around. It's chaotic, but comforting. Foraging with the murder is your first real group activity. If one crow finds food, everyone shows up. It's not exactly teamwork, but it works. More eyes mean more food. More crows mean fewer predators. If a hawk swoops in, the murder doesn't run. They fight. One crow sounds the alarm, and within seconds the whole group is screaming, diving, attacking. Hawks hate this. Most give up. The murder wins again. Fitting in isn't easy. You have to learn the rules, who's in charge, who's a jerk, who's actually useful. It's a delicate balance, but you get the hang of it. Life in the murder is fast, messy, and loud, but at least you're never alone. The older you get, the more independent you feel. You start wandering off, testing your limits. Foraging alone is a gamble. Sometimes you win big, a half-eaten burger, an entire slice of pizza. Other times you grab a piece of plastic thinking it's food. Mistakes happen. You adapt without a lookout. Danger is your problem. A rustle in the bushes, a shadow overhead. Freeze, assess, react. Sometimes you dodge in time. Sometimes you almost become lunch. It's a learning curve, but even when you're on your own, the murder is still there. When food is scarce or predators get too bold, you go back. There's safety in numbers. One afternoon, you're poking around for food. It's peaceful, calm, then out of nowhere, a fox. It lunges, teeth flashing, eyes locked on you. You barely react in time. Your wings explode open, flapping like mad. You just make it to a branch. The fox jumps after you, snaps at your tail, misses by an inch. You scream, alarm call. And before you even catch your breath, the murder arrives. Dozens of crows dive bombing, screeching, attacking from all sides. The fox yelps, spins, run for its life. The crows chase it out of the area, making sure it knows this was a mistake. You shake yourself off, hop to a higher branch, heart racing, crisis averted. Stupid fox. You've survived the fox, barely, but survival is only half the story. Growing up as a crow means navigating a world that constantly tries to kill you, outsmart you, or turn you into someone else's dinner. But hey, you're a crow, and crows don't give up. Now that you've figured out how to stay alive for the most part, it's time to master the art of scavenging. Humans, the best source of food, always leaving behind treasures. Half-eaten hot dogs, crusty fries, even whole chicken wings if you're lucky. But there's a catch. Humans are unpredictable. Some humans feed crows on purpose. These are the good ones. They toss breadcrumbs or peanuts, smiling like they're running a charity. You memorize their faces because this generosity doesn't go unnoticed. Other humans, not so nice. They yell, wave sticks, and sometimes throw things. You make a mental note of these people too. The next time they're eating in the park, their sandwich might mysteriously disappear. Revenge is a dish best served cold and stolen. You also learn about garbage day. This is when humans pile their leftovers into bags and leave them on the curb. Jackpot! The only problem? Other scavengers. Pigeons, gulls, even raccoons, all competing for the same prize. Gulls are the worst. They swoop in like uninvited guests at a party, loud and obnoxious. But a crow doesn't back down. With a few well-placed pecks and a lot of screaming, you remind them whose turf this is. By the end of the day, you've scored some soggy bread, a piece of cheese, and a slightly squashed grape. Gourmet dining? No, but enough to get by. Somewhere along the way, you discover something more fascinating than food. Shiny objects. It starts with a coin. You spot it glinting in the sunlight, half buried in the dirt. It's not food, but something about it feels special. You pick it up, roll it in your beak, then stash it in a safe place, a secret corner of your world where only you know to look. The collection grows. Buttons, bottle caps, bits of foil. Each shiny thing feels like a little victory, a trophy from your adventures. Other crows notice. They don't get it. Why waste energy on things you can't eat? They seem to say with their head tilts and judgmental stares. But you don't care. The shiny things aren't just objects, they're yours. One day, a human kid spots you with a piece of tin foil. He tries to take it. Big mistake. You squawk loud enough to make his mom look up, and he drops it. Victory! Later, you add the tinfoil to your stash, feeling oddly proud. Humans might be clever, but they'll never outshine a crow. Life isn't always scavenging and shiny things. Sometimes it's just about surviving the elements. When the sky turns gray and the wind picks up, you know a storm is coming. The murder huddles together in the tallest trees, feathers pulled out to keep warm. Rain hits hard, soaking through your feathers. Flying in a storm? Forget it. You'd get blown sideways, maybe even slammed into a tree. So you wait it out, shivering, clinging to your perch. Lightning flashes, thunder booms. You grip the branch tighter, hoping it doesn't snap. After what feels like hours, the storm passes. The sky clears, and you're back to scavenging, like nothing happened. That's the thing about being a crow. You adapt. The enemy with wings. Hawks are the ultimate bullies of the bird world. Fast, silent, deadly. They don't care about your life goals or your shiny collection. To them, you're just lunch. But crows don't go down without a fight. When a hawk enters crow territory, the murder springs into action. One crow sounds the alarm, a sharp, urgent caw that sends everyone scrambling. Within seconds, the murder is in full attack mode. You dive at the hawk, screaming, flapping, doing everything you can to throw it off. The hawk claws at the air, trying to defend itself, but it's outnumbered. Eventually, it gives up, retreating to a safer hunting ground. The murder celebrates with a chorus of victorious caws, and you feel a surge of pride. Together, you're unstoppable. Not all humans love crows. Some see you as pests, stealing their food and messing with their gardens. One day, you and a few other crows are digging through a trash can when a human storms out of their house, yelling and waving a broom. You scatter, cawing indignantly, but you don't forget. A week later, you spot the same human eating a sandwich on their porch. You wait for the perfect moment, then swoop in and snatch it right out of their hands. The look on their face? Priceless. Crows may be small, but when it comes to humans, you hold your own. Growing up means more than surviving. It means finding a mate. Courtship among crows is awkward. You puff out your feathers, hop around, and offer gifts, usually food. If the other crows like you, they accept. If not, they fly away, leaving you to feel like an idiot. But when you find the right crow, everything clicks. You build a nest together, raise chicks, and defend your territory like a power couple. Life gets busier, but also more fulfilling. Humans think they're clever, and sure, they've got opposable thumbs and Wi-Fi, but crows, we're smarter than they give us credit for. You learn to recognize patterns. Garbage trucks mean food, shiny cars mean shiny objects. You also learn to problem solve. One time, you see a human eating fries inside a car. The door's open, but they're distracted. You wait, watching, while they turn their head. You dart in, grab a fry, and dart out before they even realize what happened. Life as a crow isn't easy. You lose siblings to predators, friends to old age, and sometimes food to bigger, meaner birds. But you keep going, because that's what crows do. You learn, you adapt, and you survive. And maybe, just maybe, you find a little joy along the way. In the wind beneath your wings, the taste of a fresh worm, or the glint of a new shiny thing. Being a crow might suck sometimes, but it's also an adventure. Life as a crow might be rough, but there's another animal out there that has it way worse. Trust me, it's wild. Check out the video and see for yourself.